NTS World's trending international news, latest astrology prediction, latest horoscope. Let's begin. Miracle of Jewels Therapy. Secrets about Jewels therapy that nobody will tell you. Jewels therapy. Significance of gems. Vedic astrology indicates that benefic or malefic planets show their outcome during Madasha, Antardasha, and travel. The result given by the planets relies on the strength of planets placed in the horoscopes. Suppose a planet is powerless in the graph. In that case, the outcome relating to that planet or house will likewise be correspondingly frail, even though that planet might be solid or lifted during travel. Aside from these, gemstones are viewed as a fantastic asset in astrology to give capacity to the feeble planets, which are helpful in the horoscopes. Every planet has a gemstone as per shading and the limit of the jewel to draw in the inestimable beams of that specific planet in it. Pearls were so famous in old occasions that the rulers used to wear them with the rest of their personal effects and in the crowns with the conviction that jewels would likewise draw in abundance and thriving, separated from security from the malefic planets. Jewels look extremely smooth by contact and alluring to eyes. To get the most extreme advantage from the diamonds, these are cut in appropriate shape by accomplished gem dealers. In Ayurveda, gems are given uncommon significance because these are generally used to treat specific illnesses. Bhasma, or the debris of that particular pearl, is ready through the unique cycle and utilized in Ayurveda to fix even some genuine illnesses. We can say that gems are appealing and have magical, optical, recuperating, and vast properties adequately incredible to reinforce the powerless planet in a horoscope. Diamonds ought to likewise be invigorated with indicated mantras and so forth before wearing to give the most extreme advantages to the wearer. Who should wear blue sapphire? Neelam. About blue sapphire. The substance recipe of blue sapphire is aluminum oxide. Unique blue sapphire has a light shade of blue tone. This is additionally a hard jewel. Fantasies encompass this jewel as this has the quickest and immediate impact on its wearer. It is more accepted that this diamond has just two limits: it will demonstrate advantages or cause damage to its wearer no halfway. In the planetary group, Saturn is considered an expert who educates discipline. Blue sapphire is indicated by horoscope in crystal gazing. Pearl stones are suggested based on the situation of planets in a horoscope. Saturn controls our nerves and means persistence, discipline, limitations, and public beauty. Blue sapphire oversees this planet, the ruler of two signs, specifically Capricorn and Aquarius of the zodiac. Saturn is a slow planet producing the blue tone. Saturn is, for the most part, known for hindrances. Negative Saturn causes embarrassment, constraints, and causes partition from the advantages of the house it signifies. If malefic, it makes an individual apathetic, cruel, lazy, and underhanded. Saturn additionally makes a particular hold a safe nature, diligent employee, and straightforward. Incredible Saturn favors the individual with achievement in life because of his persistent effort. Blue sapphire ought to be utilized if Saturn gives malefic outcomes in the outline. Blue sapphire guarantees certainty and upgrades the positive energy of Saturn. Relations with laborers and work class are improved, and the wearer gets their co-activities. Industrialists should wear this jewel, with the meeting of learned soothsayers, to keep away from strikes in their processing plants because of the non-agreeable mentality of assembly line laborers. Saturn plays a vital part while noticing an outline. It signifies the sensory system in the body. On the off chance that Saturn is positive and incredible in the horoscope, the individual will have persistence, instinct power, and will be liberal, lively, and prosperous. Assuming Saturn is feeble by arrangement in the diagram, or is in a weakened state, or as in faux sign, the ideal aftereffects of Saturn, just as the house it means, can't be anticipated. The individual needs certainty and experiences flimsiness, limitations, hindrances, absence of certainty, melancholy, and disappointments. Saturn is set in the diagram with Sun, Moon, Mars, and Rahu, and adverse outcomes are given. In astrology, Saturn's situation in specific houses is answerable for Sati Sati, 7.5 years time span, or Daya, 2.5 year term. These periods, by and large, bring misfortune as they can cause detachment from the advantages of the houses Saturn means. Sati Sati is shaped when Saturn travels 12th from the moon sign, and the second house. Jewels influence the inconspicuous energy field of individuals. To comprehend unobtrusive energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. This inconspicuous energy represents our power and manner of thinking, and appropriately the activities, karmas. Therefore, blue sapphire can be worn if malefic planets are set with Saturn in the diagram. Be that as it may, at last, before wearing this diamond, the horoscope should be investigated by a scholarly astrologer. How blue sapphire shows its impact. When blue sapphire is worn in a ring, the constantly vibrating force of Saturn is caught up in the singular's atmosphere. In this manner, the air turns out to be all the more impressive to shield the person from any deterrent caused through any outer antagonistic energy. As a result, the wearer is honored with flourishing, fortune, notoriety, satisfaction, and lifespan. The wearer acquires certainty and feels fiery and dynamic. Blue sapphire is also suggested for the people running time of Sati Sati. It can lessen the impediments or issues caused through Shade Sati to least. It is additionally accepted that blue sapphire keeps the wearer from hostile stares. Saturn further shows long and constant infections. The people in the medical procedure, transport, deal and acquisition of land, mines, machines, oil, and so forth should wear blue sapphire with the counsel of learned astrologers. Medical issues restored by blue sapphire. Negative, malefic, or feeble Saturn indicates long and ongoing sickness like bones and knee issues, stiffness, loss of motion, madness, absence of energy level, and so forth. Wearing blue sapphire can help in restoring these infections. Step-by-step instructions to wear blue sapphire. Blue sapphire might be installed in silver, and the ring should be worn on Saturday night, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and stimulating the gem with the endorsed mantras. Blue sapphire is viewed as a hot pearl essentially. Who should wear ruby? Manik, about ruby stone. Ruby stone is viewed as one of the valuable stones. Ruby stone is accessible in pink to dull red tone. Component chromium shows up red. Ruby's best quality is pigeon crimson and is exceptionally smooth in contact with fine and sharp cut and shape. Ruby as per horoscope. In crystal gazing, jewel stones are suggested based on the situation of planets in a horoscope. Ruby addresses the sun, which is one of the lights in our universe. Sun is also considered father or lord and signifies authority, fortitude, and nobility. Sun is likewise the spirit of a person. Suppose the sun is positive and incredible in the horoscope. In that case, the individual will be illustrious and presumed. If sun is powerless by arrangement in the diagram or is incapacitated or faux sign, the ideal aftereffects of sun just as the house it means can't be anticipated. The individual needs monetary and proficient steadiness. He barely gets any blessing from the government. Jewels influence the unpretentious energy field of a person. To comprehend subtle energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. Our power and manner of thinking in. Likewise, the activities, karmas, are administered by this unpretentious energy. Therefore, assuming malefic planets like Rahu, Saturn or Ketu are set with Sun, or Sun is set in the 6th, 8th or 12th place of an outline, ruby jewel can be worn. Yet, at long last, before wearing this diamond, the horoscope ought to be examined by a scholarly astrologer. This diamond is likewise suggested when there is Patar dosha in the graph. How ruby shows its impact when ruby is worn in a ring or is swinging. The constantly vibrating force of ruby is invested in the singulars. Emanation. Accordingly, the air turns out to be all the more impressive to shield the person from any impediment caused through any contrary outside energy. The wearer acquires certainty and feels energy streaming in him. Ruby is additionally suggested for lawmakers and higher government authorities holding specialists. Medical issues relieved by ruby powerless sun in a diagram. Indicates numerous medical conditions, including illnesses identified with bones, circulatory strain, different heart issues, rheumatic torments, absence of certainty, unsteady psyche, feeble vision, and so forth. Wearing ruby can help in restoring these illnesses. Step by step. Instructions to sport ruby. Ruby can be installed in gold, assuming that the ascendant is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Scorpio. For different ascendants, it ought to be worn in a silver ring on Sunday morning, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of plunging the ring in Gangajal or crude milk in stimulating the gem with the endorsed mantras. Ruby is viewed as a hot diamond naturally. Who should wear diamond, Hira, about diamond precious stone is costly and regularly utilized in gems for beautification. The main element of this diamond is its hardness and ability to mirror the light. This is the hardest among every one of the jewels. Jewel is unadulterated carbon in its most thought structure. Due to its refractive quality, this pearl is utilized in adornments. Because of its hardness, diamond is interested in enterprises as a mineral. This is an exceptional jewel. This pearl is found in many tones. Precious stone as per horoscope. In soothsaying, diamond stones are suggested based on an arrangement of planets in a horoscope. Venus indicates magnificence, love, craftsmanship like acting, music, dance, stage shows, imaginative demeanor, photography, film, fascination towards other gender and sexual power, extravagant life, solaces, perfect house, vehicles, and substantially more. Jewel oversees this planet, who is the ruler of two signs, specifically Taurus and Libra of the zodiac. Venus addresses love. This planet impacts verse of adoration. Pessimistic Venus makes an individual poor, lethargic, and aloof towards affection and relations. He might have different conjugal issues, which might upset the homegrown life. In family relations, this means spouse. In friendly terms, this planet has command over relations like sweethearts, cherished, young lady companions, or beau or love life of a person. This planet additionally administers sexual delight and sexual power. Excellent Venus favors the individual with thriving and solaces also. The precious stone ought to be utilized assuming Venus is powerless, or giving malefic outcomes in the outline. The people with great Venus in their graphs have beautiful faces and are honored with alluring eyes and grins. Jewel guarantees achievement in adoration and wedded life by upgrading the positive energy of Venus. As a result, relations in married life are improved, and the wearer gets co-tasks from the mate. Venus is considered to have feministic nature and signifies delicacy. Assuming Venus is cheerful and unique in the horoscope, the individual will be liberal, holding a beguiling character if Venus is frail by the excellence of arrangement in the diagram or is weakened or adversary sign. The ideal after affects Venus just as the house it signifies can't be anticipated. The individual feels unsatisfied throughout everyday life and experiences shakiness and discouragement. Diamonds influence the unobtrusive energy field of individuals. To comprehend hidden energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. This inconspicuous energy represents our power and manner of thinking inappropriately. The activities, karmas. Therefore, assuming malefic planets are set with Venus, or Venus is put in awful places of a graph, diamond can be worn. Be that as it may, at last, before wearing this diamond, the horoscope should be examined by an educated astrologer. How diamond shows its impact when diamond is worn in a ring. The constantly vibrating force of Venus is invested in the singular's quality. Consequently, the air turns out to be all the more remarkable to shield the person from any hindrance caused by any outside pessimistic energy. As a result, the wearer acquires certainty and feels fiery and dynamic. The individuals occupied with the artistry, music, dramatization, stage shows, acting, film, photography, material, gems, salons, restorative exchanging, and crystal gazing should wear diamond with the interview of a learned astrologer. Medical issues restored by diamond. Negative, malefic, or frail Venus indicates numerous illnesses like urinary issues, feeble uterus, diabetes, UTI, the shortcoming of conceptive organs, absence of want in a sexual relationship, and so on. By wearing a diamond, one can defeat these issues. Step-by-step instructions to wear diamond jewel should be inserted in gold, 18 carats, and the ring should be worn on Friday morning, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of plunging the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk, stimulating the gem with the recommended mantras. Jewel. Thought about a hot pearl essentially. Who should wear Hessianite, Gomed, about Hessianite, Gomed, is viewed as due to profound tannish yellow or red tones. It looks like the shade of cow's pee or honey. Hessianite is an assortment of grossolarite garnet. Hessianite as per horoscope keeping its solidarity and significance. Rahu has been given the situation with a planet in Vedic astrology, however, it doesn't have any actual presence. Therefore, jewel stones are suggested in soothsaying based on an arrangement of planets in a horoscope. Rahu is viewed as a malefic planet and makes its locals insubordinate, flighty, and mysterious. On the other hand, Rahu is vivacious yet problematic. He upsets the mental makeup of the locals and causes disarray in their personalities. All of these are the characteristics of a shadow planet, as it doesn't have an actual body and is likewise consistently in retrograde position. Rahu means acumen, underhandedness, disarray, and intellectual ability as far as cheating and dangerous habits. Hessianite, Gomed, administers this planet. Rahu is supposed to be lifted in the Taurus sign. Rahu, the north node or the dragon's head, is the rising hub since the moon crosses the ecliptic from southern to northern heavenly scopes. Rahu is also viewed as the moment's leader's benefit and unexpected outcomes. Rahu overall shows voyaging, cruel discourse, betting, hooligans, cheats, outstations, outsiders, fatherly granddad, reptiles, snakes, robbery, insidiousness, and widows. With its adversaries planets like Sun, Mars, and Saturn, Rahu gives the most malefic outcomes. Adverse Rahu likewise causes an absence of focus and a sleeping disorder, and so on. Malefic viewpoints on Rahu deliver more extreme outcomes. The dasha of Rahu runs for 18 years, where the local is tried, compensated, or rebuffed according to one's karma. In family relations, this implies granddad. This planet likewise administers the mind of an individual. Incredible Rahu favors the individual with achievement in political life because of his astuteness and boldness. Hessianite ought to be worn, assuming Rahu gives frail or malefic outcomes in the graph. Hessianite Gomed guarantees alleviation from the malefic impact of Rahu. It clears the disarray at the top of the priority list, gives dependability throughout everyday life, and upgrades the positive energy of Rahu. If Rahu is feeble by a situation in the graph, or is in a weakened state, or is in foe sign, the ideal consequences of Rahu, just as the house indicates, can't be anticipated. The individual experiences insecurity, despondency, and disappointments. He can likewise be a liar and cheat. Rahu ring is helpful to the people who need to get accomplishments in law practice, court issues, political circles, travel planners, and accomplish the capacity to succeed with regards to betting. Foes can't stand long before the wearer of the Rahu ring. It also eliminates dread, clarifies the brain, and helps profound development. Dark magic can't influence one who wears this ring. One is protected from the dread of snakes and snake nibbles, mishaps, and wounds. Gomed eliminates hindrances and brings favor from the public authority and government organizations. It additionally defeats dubious nature and psyche and fixes different skin issues, fears, the impact of toxins, craziness, and so on. Jewels influence the unpretentious energy field of a person. To comprehend unpretentious energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. Our power and manner of thinking, and likewise the activities, karmas, are administered by this hidden energy. Therefore, assuming malefic planets are set with Rahu, or in the 6th, 8th, or 12th place of an outline, Gomed ought to be worn. But, be that as it may, at last, before wearing this jewel, the horoscope should be dissected by an educated astrologer. How Hessianite shows its impact. When Hessianite is worn in a ring or is swinging, the persistently vibrating force of positive Rahu is invested in the singular's atmosphere. In this manner, the air turns out to be all the more impressive to shield the person from any obstruction caused by any outside pessimistic energy. As a result, the wearer acquires fixation and feels enthusiastic. Hessianite is incredibly useful for the understudies of governmental issues. Therefore, Hessianite should be worn by government officials, financial specialists, and people who have public contacts. Medical issues restored by Hessianite. Negative malefic, or frail Rahu signifies numerous illnesses like asthma, craziness, mental confusion, epilepsy, feeble brain, stomach issues, uncleanliness and sleep deprivation, and so forth. It likewise implies illnesses that are hard to analyze. Put with the moon, it creates an inclination to end it all. By wearing Hessianite gemstone, a man can defeat these issues alongside mental problems and over-the-top issues, assuming any. Gomed diamond is worn to empower one to debilitate the wheel of karmic wants. By accomplishing this state, souls begin heading towards higher, otherworldly universes. Step-by-step instructions to where Hessianite might be installed. In silver. The ring should be worn on Saturday morning, Shukla Paksha, after dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and invigorating the gem with the endorsed mantras. Hessianite is Viewed as a chilly jewel ordinarily. Who should wear yellow sapphire? Pukraj. About yellow sapphire. Yellow sapphire is one of the valuable and expensive pearls. This diamond is found in a light yellow tone. Yellow sapphire is aluminum oxide. Yellow sapphire is indicated by horoscope in crystal gazing. Pearl stones are suggested based on the situation of planets in a horoscope. Jupiter is the most fantastic planet in our planetary group and implies information and theory. This likewise signifies equity, riches, youngsters, religion, long excursions and journeys, and so on. Yellow sapphire administers this planet, the ruler of two signs, specifically Sagittarius and Pisces of the zodiac. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun and emanates a yellow tone. Negative Jupiter gives adverse outcomes. The individual might be untrustworthy and may confront embarrassment throughout everyday life. The result will be similar, assuming that Jupiter is placed with malefic planets or part of malefic planets in the diagram. In family relations, this implies senior individuals from the family. Incredible Jupiter favors the individual with accomplishment in each field of life because of his best luck, fortune, and cunning. Yellow sapphire ought to be worn off the chance that Jupiter gives powerless outcomes in the graph. Yellow sapphire guarantees a good outcome and improves the positive energy of Jupiter. As with the educators, relations with senior individuals are improved, and the wearer gets co-activities and favors from older folks. The most appropriate calling of Jupiter is instructing. Educators, teachers, educators who convey information to the understudies get a gift of Jupiter. Assuming Jupiter is frail by position in the graph or is in a crippled state or is in foe sign, the ideal aftereffects of Jupiter, just as the house it means, can't be anticipated. The individual needs information and riches and experiences insecurity, embarrassment, and disappointments. He can likewise be a liar and cheat. Pearls influence the unobtrusive energy field of individuals. To comprehend inconspicuous energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. Our energy and point of view and appropriately the activities, karmas, are represented by this inconspicuous energy. In case malefic planets are set with Jupiter, or Jupiter is put in the 6th, 8th or 12th place of a diagram, yellow sapphire ought to be worn. However, at last, before wearing this jewel, the horoscope ought to be dissected by scholarly astrologers. Because occasionally Jupiter gives malefic impact by the goodness of situation even though he is viewed as a most benefic planet. How yellow sapphire shows its impact at the point when yellow sapphire is worn in a ring or is swinging. The constantly vibrating force of Jupiter is invested in the singular's air. Subsequently, the air turns out to be more remarkable to shield the person from any deterrent caused by any outer antagonistic energy. The wearer acquires information and feels lively. Yellow sapphire is incredibly advantageous for journalists, scholars, instructors, educators, specialists, lawmakers, and analysts, and so because this pearl builds astuteness and abundance. In the Indian system, Jupiter likewise connotes a spouse for a married woman. Jupiter again helps in getting hitched on schedule. However, young ladies whose Jupiter is gravely positioned or with the malefic planets face trouble getting a reasonable counterpart for marriage. Their marriage is deferred, and at times disharmony surfaces in married life later on. Yellow sapphire restored medical conditions. Negative, malefic, or powerless Jupiter means numerous illnesses like liver and kidney issues, gouts, jaundice, hernia, stoutness, ailment, and even heart issues. However, by wearing yellow sapphire gemstone, a man can conquer these issues. The most effective method to wear yellow sapphire ought to be inserted in gold. The ring should be worn on Thursday morning, Shukla Paksha, after dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and empowering the gem with the recommended mantras. Yellow sapphire is viewed as a lovely and mitigating diamond naturally. Who should wear red coral? Lal Munga. About red coral. Red coral pearl contains high magnesium calcium carbonate. These are found under ocean water to 500 feet, looking like leafless shrubs. Their significant skeleton is made out of hard calcium carbonate. This pearl has commonly red, white, or vermilion tone and is accessible in various shapes. Red coral is per horoscope. In crystal gazing, jewel stones are suggested based on the position of planets in a horoscope. Mars signifies boldness, outrage, outrageous sexual longing, factious nature, remorselessness, and self-assurance. Red coral oversees this planet, who is the ruler of two signs, specifically Aries and Scorpio of the zodiac. Mars is viewed as an angry and hazardous planet producing a red tone. That is why every one of the wounds, consumes, and the malefic impacts of Mars bring about mishaps endured by individuals. Negative Mars causes blood loss, either through major careful activities or by genuine injuries. In family relations, this connotes more youthful siblings. This planet likewise oversees the land and solid force of a person. Incredible Mars favors the individual with accomplishment in life because of his persistent effort. Therefore, red coral ought to be utilized, assuming Mars gives malefic outcomes in the graph. Red coral guarantees certainty and upgrades the positive energy of Mars. Determination is fortified, and the locals become daring. Relations with more youthful siblings are improved, and the wearer gets co-activities from his co-borns. Mars is considered manly nature and indicates forcefulness, control, and savagery. Mars likewise shows the power or energy of a person. If Mars is positive and incredible in the horoscope, the individual will be liberal, vigorous, and prosperous. If Mars is frail by arrangement in the diagram, is in a weakened state, or is in adversary sign, the ideal consequences of Mars, just as the house it indicates, can't be anticipated. The individual needs certainty and experiences insecurity, melancholy, and disappointments. In astrology, the arrangement of Mars in specific houses is liable for Manglic dosha. This is considered an essential dosha as it influences the marriage of the local and may even cause division because of rash or harsh conduct of one of the accomplices or extravagance in extraconjugal issues. For the most part, this dosha is examined at the hour of a marriage of a kid or young lady. On the off chance that both have the arrangement of Mars in indicated houses in the horoscope, this dosha is invalidated. Some different mixes in the graph likewise assuage this dosha. Jewels influence the inconspicuous energy field of the person. To comprehend unpretentious energy, see our article, Theory of Subtle Energies. This hidden energy is administered by our energy and manner of thinking, and appropriately the activities, karmas. Therefore, assuming malefic planets are set with Mars, or Mars is put in the 6th, 8th or 12th place of an outline, red coral can be worn. However, before wearing this pearl, the horoscope ought to be investigated by an educated astrologer. How red coral shows its impact. When red coral is worn in a ring or as the rosary, the constantly vibrating force of Mars is caught up in the singular's air. Accordingly, the quality turns out to be all the more remarkable to shield the person from any deterrent caused through any outer pessimistic energy. The wearer acquires certainty and feels energetic and dynamic. Red coral is additionally suggested for Manglik dosha. It can guarantee concordance in married life. The position of Mars in the specific circumstance in the graph sometimes causes substantial obligations. It is accepted that red coral aids in such an event, and the wearer can accumulate sources to clear the obligation. The individuals in the field of medical procedure, medications, showcasing, specialized, PC, power, fireworks producing, designing and so on should wear red coral. With the meeting of learned astrologers, red coral restored medical conditions. Negative. Malefic, or frail Mars indicates numerous infections like sharpness, acid reflux, stomachs, fever, little pox, absence of energy level, heaps, bubbles, measles, and so forth. Wearing red coral can help in relieving these illnesses. Step-by-step instructions to wear red coral might be installed in gold or silver, and the ring ought to be worn on Tuesday morning, Shukla Paksha, after dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and stimulating the gem with the endorsed mantras. Red coral is viewed as a hot jewel commonly. Who should wear pearl, moti, pearl gem? Dealers ordinarily utilize pearls for making decorations and other expensive things including rosary. Pearl jewel is accessible in assortments of tones. Unique pearls are not effectively accessible. Refined pearls are being used now daily. Pearl is a compound of calcium and oxygen. This jewel is for the most part found in a round shape. Pearl is indicated by horoscope in crystal gazing. Pearl stones are suggested based on the situation of planets in a horoscope. Moon oversees this pearl, a master of Cancer sign of the zodiac. Moon is one of the illuminators and is known for its effect on watery spots, human brain, heart, sound rest, on plants of succulent nature, mother and different females, on feminine time of women and shine of their countenances. Pearl ought to be utilized assuming moon gives G malefic outcomes in the diagram. Pearl guarantees great rest and helps in defeating sleep deprivation. Mental power is reinforced and sorrow is taken out steadily. Moon is additionally considered to have feministic nature and indicates delicacy and excellence. Moon likewise demonstrates the psyche of a person. On the off chance that Moon is positive and unique in the horoscope, the individual will be liberal, excellent, and prosperous. Assuming that Moon is feeble by the situation in the outline or is in the incapacitated state or is in faux sign, the ideal consequences of Moon just as the house it means can't be anticipated. The individual needs certainty and experiences precariousness, misery, and a sleeping disorder. He scarcely gets any inward feeling of harmony. Uncommonly, Saturn Moon, Saturn Rahu, and Saturn Ketu blend or perspective on one another in the diagram are viewed as highly terrible. The local never emerges from despondency in his life. Jewels influence the inconspicuous energy field of a person. To comprehend subtle energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. Our energy and point of view inappropriately the activities, karmas, are represented by this hidden power. If malefic planets are set with Moon, or Moon is put in the 6th, 8th or 12th place of a graph, pearl diamond can be worn. However, at last, before wearing this jewel, the horoscope ought to be examined by a scholarly astrologer. How pearl shows its impact when pearl is worn in a ring or as a rosary. The ceaselessly vibrating force of Moon is caught up in the singular's atmosphere. In this manner, the air turns out to be all the more remarkable to shield the person from any impediment caused through any outer contrary energy. The wearer acquires certainty and feels energy streaming in him. Moon is likewise suggested for women and enthusiastic individuals to reinforce their resolve. The people in the field of fluids, including different sorts of oils, prescriptions, milk, synthetics, refreshments, commodity, import, and so forth, should wear pearl diamond with the Council of Learned Astrologers. Medical issues relieved by pearl. Frail moon in a diagram signifies numerous medical issues, including illnesses identified with rest, wretchedness, madness, feeble brain, heartburn, asthma, TB, heart issues, women's feminine issue, powerlessness, visual perception, and so on. Wearing pearl can help in relieving these illnesses. Instructions to sport pearl. Pearl ought to be implanted in silver and the ring ought to be worn on Monday morning, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of plunging the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and stimulating the gem with the endorsed mantras. Pearl is viewed as a hot jewel. Essentially, who should wear emerald? Panna. About emerald. Emerald is viewed in light to dark green tones. This pearl is a compound of silicate, aluminum, beryllium and oxygen. Assuming that we glare on the outer layer of this jewel, it will give charming sight just as mitigating and cooling impact on eyes. However, it is undeniably challenging to track down an unadulterated and clear emerald, since emerald has dark spots in it for the most part. Emerald as indicated by horoscope. In crystal gazing, diamond stones are suggested based on the position of planets in a horoscope. For example, Mercury means mind, shrewdness, intellectual ability, memory and discourse, and so forth. Emerald oversees this planet and is a master of two signs, be specific, Gemini and Virgo of the zodiac. Mercury is closest to Sun, transmitting a green tone, and is additionally viewed as the leader of exchange, business, and keenness. Negative Mercury causes the absence of memory and thinking power, issues in discourse, lack of focus and sleep deprivation, and so on. On the off chance that such Mercury has the part of malefic planets, occasions like burglary, extortion, and so on may happen much of the time in the existence of a local. In family relations, this implies more youthful sisters. This planet likewise oversees the excellent judgment of an individual. Incredible Mercury favors the individual with accomplishment in life because of his insight and knowledge. Emerald ought to be worn, assuming Mercury gives frail or malefic outcomes in the outline. Emerald guarantees certainty and improves the positive energy of Mercury. Just as logical power is fortified, the local gets accomplished in cutthroat assessments. Relations with more youthful sisters are improved and the wearer receives co-tasks from his co-borns. Assuming Mercury is feeble by arrangement in the diagram, or is in the crippled state, or is in adversary sign, the ideal consequences of Mercury, just as the house it indicates, can't be anticipated. The individual needs focus and experiences shakiness, melancholy, and disappointments. He can likewise be a liar and cheat. Pearls influence the unpretentious energy field of individuals. To comprehend inconspicuous energy, see our article Theory of Subtle Energies. This inconspicuous energy administers our energy and perspective and the activities, karmas, why. Therefore, assuming that malefic planets are set with Mercury, or Mercury is put in the 6th, 8th or 12th place of a graph, emerald should be worn. Yet, at long last, before wearing this diamond, the horoscope ought to be investigated by a scholarly astrologer. How emerald shows its impact. When emerald is worn in a ring or is swinging, the ceaselessly vibrating force of Mercury is caught up in the singular's emanation. Consequently, the atmosphere turns out to be all the more impressive too. shield the person from any impediment caused by any outside pessimistic energy. As a result, the wearer acquires focus and feels vigorous. Emerald is accommodating for the understudies of law and commerce. Youngsters with powerless memory can likewise be benefited from this pearl. Financial specialists wear emerald shoulder, dealers, bookkeepers, authors, and people who have public contacts, since this jewel builds thinking and legitimate power. It calms visual perception. 2. Medical issues relieved by emerald. Negative, malefic, or feeble mercury signifies numerous infections like asthma, craziness, mental confusion, epilepsy, powerless psyche, stomach issues, gastritis, pancreas illnesses, sleep deprivation, and so forth. By wearing an emerald gemstone, a man can conquer these issues alongside mental turmoil, assuming any step-by-step instructions to sport emerald. Emerald might be installed in gold or silver, and the ring ought to be worn on Wednesday morning, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk, and stimulating the gem with the recommended mantras. Emerald is viewed as a serene and calming diamond naturally. Who should wear cat's eye? Lasunia. Regarding cat's eye, Lasunia, it is a misty jewel and has the creation of beryllium aluminum oxide. For the most part, it is found in a brown or caramel green tone with a portable dash of light that runs lengthily and looks like a cat's eye. It is accepted that Ketu has a karmic impact on people. It has been seen that during the significant period or subtime of Ketu, people would get results according to their karma, present or past. Cat's eye as indicated by horoscope. Like Rahu, Ketu has been given a planet. In Vedic astrology, however, it doesn't have any actual presence. In crystal gazing, pearl stones are suggested based on the position of planets in a horoscope. This planet is primarily known for the force of instinct and mysterious science. Such people get moksha and get independence from the pattern of birth and demise. Ketu is supposed to be like Mars and gives abrupt and severe outcomes. Cat's eye, Lasunia, oversees this planet. Ketu is supposed to be commended in Scorpio. Rahu and Ketu cause the major doshas like Kal Sarp dosh and Pitra dosh and so forth in the diagram because of their arrangement. Cat's eye gemstone gives quick and abrupt outcomes and is suited to those people who are occupied with theory and betting, and so on. Ketu, the south node or the dragon's head, is known as the sliding hub of the moon since it denotes where the moon crosses the ecliptic from northern to southern heavenly scopes. Ketu is additionally viewed as the leader of abrupt outcomes, terrible dreams, phantoms, and underhanded sprites. With its adversaries planets like Sun, Moon, and Jupiter, Ketu gives the most malefic outcomes. Negative. Ketu also causes no fixation and unexpected mishaps or wounds, fire, court, and law issues. Malefic. Perspectives on Ketu give more extreme results. The dasha of Ketu runs for 7 years where the local is tried, compensated, or rebuffed according to one's karma. In family relations, this connotes maternal granddad. This planet additionally oversees the strict twist of an individual. Amazing Ketu favors the individual with instinct and mysterious science. Cat's eye should be worn, assuming that Ketu gives powerless or malefic outcomes in the graph. Cat's eye, Lasunia, guarantees help from the malefic impact from Ketu. It clears the disarray as the main priority, gives solidness throughout everyday life, and upgrades the positive energy of Ketu. If Ketu is frail by a situation in the outline or is in an incapacitated state or is an adversary sign, the ideal aftereffects of Ketu, just as the house it means, can't be anticipated. The individual experiences abrupt occasions, unsteadiness, discouragement, and disappointments. Ketu ring is valuable to the individuals who need to get achievement in betting, horse race, soothsaying, law practice, and so forth. It is similarly beneficial for individuals engaged with trance-like influence and reflection, dark magic, dread complex, dread from phantoms, or awful dreams can't influence one who wears this ring. One is protected from mishaps and wounds. Pearls influence the unpretentious energy field of individuals. To comprehend unobtrusive energy, see our article, Theory of Subtle Energies. This inconspicuous energy is administered by our power and manner of thinking and appropriately the activities, karmas. Therefore, assuming malefic planets are set with Ketu, or Ketu is put in 8th or 12th place of an outline, cat's eye ought to be worn. Yet, at long last, before wearing this pearl, the horoscope ought to be dissected by a scholarly astrologer. How cat's eye shows its impact. When Lesunia is worn in a ring or is swinging, the constantly vibrating force of favorable Ketu is invested in the singular's air. In this manner, the emanation turns out to be all the more impressive to shield the person from any impediment caused through any outer pessimistic energy. As a result, the wearer acquires fixation and feels lively. Medical conditions restored by cat's eye. It assists with forestalling startling and unexpected setbacks and recoveries from mishaps and mystery foes. Negative, malefic, or feeble. Ketu indicates numerous sicknesses like fixations, craziness, mental confusion, pee issues, incapacitated, and stomach issues. By wearing cat's eye gemstone, a man can conquer these issues. Alongside mental problems and over-the-top issues, assuming any cat's eye jewel is worn to empower one to deplete the wheel of karmic wants. By accomplishing this state, the soul begins heading towards higher profound universes. The most effective method to wear cat's eye. Cat's eye might be inserted in silver, and the ring should be worn on Tuesday morning, Shukla Paksha, in the wake of dunking the ring in Gangajal or unbubbled milk and empowering the gem with the endorsed mantras. Cat's eye is viewed as a hot pearl ordinarily. Please like and subscribe NTS blog.